peeping through my window. 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that peeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. They keep it real when niggas, man, most of y'all frauds. Leave like you frauds. Y'all pussy niggas gon' ride for your dog. Right at your man, I put the dagger right in his heart. I'm playing my part, definitely I'm playing it smart. And if I don't get you, then I'm coming for your brother then, or his mother then. It's kinda crazy revenge settling. Rape, sold and murdered the natives when they was settling. Coming in, out of the water that they was fishing in. I was raised in hell, it got dark when I was peddling. White man harassing the block when we was peddling. White man who also was the blood when we was peddling. I would never fraud if I was on David Letterman. This is UPK, ain't no Chavez Shabazz. When the Christ come back, I'm gonna right on your ass. Got the Johnny Walker in me, and I'm all in my bag. I'm on my Friday the 13th with the gun and the mask. Who's that peeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that peeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night.
Hey yo, the car with Nacho, fucking doing crazy like you destined on the Flocko. Righteous on the block though, the beat I catch a ride, but I always miss my stop though. Beefing with my shorty till I stuck it in the taco. Who's that creeping through my window? I ain't with the complications, I'ma keep it simple. Burn all black Dickie to the Timbo. You gon' find exactly what you looking for in limbo. We gon' get it in though. Experience I live from 2036. I see my brother when it's been done. Every day I think about the trouble that I slid from. That's why I call a white man the devil, cause he is one. That's not a motherfucker, I think we should just forgive. That act right, gave a nigga reason to live. Give you extra if you take it back or you renege. See him creeping no Newport, I squeeze the cig.
Who's that peeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that peeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night.
Where's the competition? I'm bored with it. Stepping up for a board mission. I keep 2 fours with it. Gonna feel like a forward hitter. This piece I'm adored with it, but you can get gored with it. You don't want to war with him. This hammer, I'm Thor with it. You pray for my downfall, I just pray that the Lord with him. Taking every shot and I'm keeping the score with him. But this ain't a game. Ain't no back and forth with him. So quick, I'm dressed to kill. You can tell how that forfeit him. This just ain't in him. That beef is takeout. That means it's your steak dinner. I grip the stick, hit the switch and make you switch gender. That stretch 5 is too much, I make you switch center. That pressure on you gon' forgot you a chain center. A warlord don't show no pain, just put that pain in her. A pillar in the shit, you know it ain't no change in her. It's legit if you see it and my name in it. It's UPK, nigga. Let's get it.
Who's that peeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night.
Yo, spit your first, yo.
I said, boom, shaka, laka, laka, waka, waka, taka, haka.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, man. The EP, ISUPK Philly, EP coming out soon, man.
Yo, man, listen, right? I was just running up on the car and I got ran up on. Good night. Literally, man. I said I was just running up on the car and I literally got ran up on. Like, goddamn. They make some profile be like a boss, but
Don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. UPK, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. Who I be? Crime about, never saw. Break these bitches off. Get one through your stomach, through your damn meal figure. One West, nothing but soldiers and real niggas. Let my eyes get ya. Kiss the motherfucking booth to play nice picture. If you ain't an Israelite, then I don't fuck you. To pass and flyer through the bar, baby, you can take a picture. When they see us at the mall and we breaking down shit, do it for the 12 tribe blood of an Israelite. When them devils start to die, we gon' ride. Slash by the most high, we gon' break the sky. When them white babies run, throw them off in the fire. Bury me a motherfucking piece when I die. UPK, One West, you don't have to lie. Fuck the other side, we don't fuck with you, man. Cop, get the order and we gon' take ground. UPK, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. UPK, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah.
You don't have to be robbing and killing in the ghetto, living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life been given to us by them low-life niggas you call black leaders.
One West, UPK, One West, motherfucking UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day.
I don't fuck with the fake, never been on a date. Why these niggas so gay? I don't eat food cake. All I eat is steak, chicken and grapes. Run like an 8, don't need no weights. UPK bitch at the bar. Hey, get a bitch wetter than a lake. Hey, open my eye, catch a case. I'll break a bitch nigga face. Hey, One West the only way. Hey, all eyes on UPK. Hey, take round. Hey, fuck what they say. Now we don't play. Top of my spray, hit him with the blade. Now the nigga on the fucking page. See sideways. Hey, we no gon' drop like this. Like one bad bitch, hot like this. Like UPK, use the fucking block like this. Like that's what the Lord can't stop this shit. Those ain't no bitch up in sight. All my niggas prepared to die. World War III, word on fire. Waiting on the Lord to crack the sky. And them champs ain't died. Mommy nothing but them UPK side One West.
One West, motherfucking UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. I'm gonna set your shit off on my black man. Slap deep out of your mouth with the backhand. You better hope that I don't get orders from captains. To take ground, bitch, I'm ready for action. You already know what I got to say. If you ain't UPK, bitch, you in a goddamn way. I was born in a battlefield, at a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit every day. It's World War III, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees. You make them beg for you, but no mercy from me. You didn't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. But what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. Priests and the prophets and the kings. The stories of the book of the black God is the time I make the sweet dream. I think I was Shah Mashiach, the king of all kings, ruler of all things. Hell is what we bring. Destruction of Babylon, destroying everything. With swords and beams on a whole nother level you ain't never seen. From a UPK team, 144, you know what I mean. One West, nigga.
West, UPK.
motherfucking UPK, UPK.
What agreement is a Bible in the temple has to do with the day of Christmas tree? Anything else? Where's that agreement at? How do they even make sense to come together? That's right. But we follow the custom like it's a God given a high holy day. Where's the agreement on that? Right. The elves with the Bible. Right. The Keebler elves. Right. And then you got the kids making cookies for Santa Claus. You know what you're doing? You are cooking, you're making a burnt offering to a damn idol. Right. You damn heathen. Following damn heathen ways. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the special people of the Lord. That's right. Stop following these heathen customs. And why hasn't your pastor, who has the Bible in the church, why hasn't he showed you this? Because the world does not want it to be revealed that black people.
I want a motherfucking truth, never lose. That's one west nigga, I don't know you. Got this shit, didn't come to the school. Bitch ass nigga better move. Got a fucking job to do. Trying to raise up all the Jews, all the tribes. This was the truth for that. Truth fat nigga never lie. Stop. Don't you see the misses in the sky? One well I.S.U.P.K for the other side. I set the church on fire. And line to the children of God. Bitch ass nigga, you proud. Probably on a jet right now. Taking your check right now. How you having sex with your wives? I.S.U.P.K don't fuck with your kind. Bitch ass nigga take crime. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. U.P.K. 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth. 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 U.P.K. 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth.
All our children gonna end up to be young, feminine faggots that don't care about the murder of their own people. This black man just said, show me that sign. Hey, you let me the sign. Let me the sign. I gotta say, yo, this brother right here just said,
these niggas fake, these niggas gay, not in the U.P.K. Go red like every day. I'ma start chopping your face, don't play. World War III, that U.P.K. day. I don't give a fuck if you hate. Hit him with the blade. One West bitch till I'm dead. Wine and bread, what's off of my head? U.P.K. bitch, blood talk to the fed. All black, no purple. Fake ass nigga be looking like turtles. IUIC ain't fucking with the pre-pop 15 king. My niggas mean, violent, straight, beats. U.P.K. made me. Now I'm waiting on Hebrew Academy. Don't come back. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. U.P.K. 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth. 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 U.P.K. 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth.
the flame, from the power of the flame of the Lord, man. No missiles, no nuclear destruction. You can't outrun no nuclear missile, white man. You can't outrun no nuclear missile. All you can do is burn.
Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. U.P.K. 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth. 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 U.P.K. 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth.
West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and the Commanding General YAHANNA. The only authorized acronym. Look, Christianity, the home for white supremacists, the real Jews black. Jesus Christ was a nigga, we scholars in the scriptures. Fuck your false doctrine. I'm a gangster, I can't go to church, they false prophets. I face the east and pray towards the sun. Fuck your peace and I don't need your love. I'm gonna have slaves when the kingdom come. I see my adversaries teaming up, but they ain't ready for war. And if they is, we gon' bring it to them. Thumb through the pages, reading Obadiah. Look, white man the devil, he for sure a liar. Can't trust the snake, Jesus called them vipers. How you love everybody when we the ones dying? I'm bloodthirsty, pray my enemies drop dead. Don't do nothing God say, but won't forgiveness for they sins. Niggas hypocrites, I just want slaughter and revenge. A sword and a crown to give my kids. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child. And I can never be a Muslim cause they worship rocks. If you don't serve the Most High, then you cursed by God. Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Kwam Yashala, shield the king, Dawadah. I got wisdom from the prophets, I ain't without. I'm in the belly of the beast, trying to make it out. I know the truth, so I can't transgress the law. For a long time, was a rebel without a cause. I was called by the Lord. I feel like the poor man when a dog licked his swords. They ain't from my neighborhood, but I own all the stores. A church on every corner and my niggas still destroyed. We living in a time where your murder get recorded. Men of the Lord still prisoners of war. I got a Glock, but brotherhood the real weapon. You practice Kemet at my yacht, but it's still pagan. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child.
Stay listening, every bar that you listening, hit your heart, bring it death to they baby.
Shalom. For the brothers, Yahweh Shema, Alatan Basham, to the sisters. Welcome to our Wednesday evening law class. This is the I.S.U.P.K. And we started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. No, sorry for a late start, but that's how it is sometimes. But we are here nonetheless. All right. Now, we are in a... People are our people. Well, I speak about for our people. But people in general, but our people in particular. They're really watching what is happening in the world. Yeah, which is good. You know, America have the people on a nuclear watch, but you know, America, them do things. I don't even know what to say about them, but they make money out of weaponry. I don't know if there's any other business that makes money like arms dealing, selling arms, weapons of war. So, you know, put the people under scare. So anything they come up with, the people are going to accept it. So when they say, well, we need $1 trillion to spend to prepare the people for our nuclear, in the event of a nuclear war, people will say, oh, no problem. Go ahead. No problem. Take the money. But, you know, that's how you do it when you are a politician. All right. However, our people really are watching what is going on, and you know, is a bit scared. But I will tell them, if you listen to the voice of the prophet of the Lord, the, the prophets of the Lord in the ISUPK, then you will not be afraid. The Most High has set, you know, prophets within the ISUPK to decipher unto his people what is to, or I should say, put in a more, to explain to the people what is to come and what is happening in the last days. So, you know, people don't need to be scared, but many of them smartly looking towards the ISUPK. So, you know, why this is happening and what you think I should do. But we're telling you, the only thing you should do, listen to the voice of the prophets of the ISUPK and do your things that you do each day. Meaning, you know, you don't need to go and build no nuclear fallout. But I mean, our people don't even have the money to build fallout shelters. So I wouldn't even bother go and talk about that. You know, fallout shelters are not cheap to build. Even if you're building one 2-bedroom house as a fallout shelter underground, that's not cheap. Takes money. We understand Japan. Japan have a lot of fallout shelters, you know. And for the most part, most nations have prepared underground places because, you know, they have come to the realization that it's not a matter of if there will be a nuclear war, it's a matter of when. So as far as they're concerned, if they build the fallout shelter during their lifetime and they don't use it, they pass on to their children and so on and so forth. Can't really blame them. But, you know, from time immemorial, the scriptures always point to the people listening to the voice of the prophets. All right. Officer Kayadwan, you can get Deuteronomy 18 for me, 15 to 18.
Another one gone. Another one gone. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
So this was Moses speaking, and Moses was telling the people. So it was set from the time of Moses that this is how the Most High will work. And when you read right throughout the Bible, that is why all the books of the Bible have a name of one of the prophets of the Most High God. So from Moses' time. However, there is no book named Moses. There's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers. No book named Moses, but you have one named Joshua. Right? I have some named kings that record the kings at the time. There is no name Elijah, but all the prophets at the time of the judges, there's one book named Judges, which record all the prophets during the time of the judges. where the Most High used to raise up to judge over Israel. You understand? So,
Yeah.
I mean, but, and then he rose up Christ, then he rose up Peter. I mean, and there were other prophets even after or during the time of Peter, all the way down to John the Revelator, who write the last book, right? And it was not the end, and he even tell you about, in the Revelation, raising up his prophets, the two what they call it? It's two witnesses again, which is talking about the 12 tribes, the two kingdom, those who had experienced him. But our people sometimes just have a problem in listening. As a matter of fact, we black men have been discredited by our oppressor, right? From the time of slavery until now. They find way to discredit us or tell lies, white Christ, so that our people don't believe that, Christ look anything like them. That's one. And two, I mean, mass incarceration that they would do in America. So, people just say, why the man that can't go to prison, so man? Can't listen to them. You understand? Right. Police killings and all that. So our people just say, no, sir, prophet of God can't look anything like them people. However, you need to look at the ISUPK and see that, God really is in this house. And more, it's been revealed unto the people where the Most High God, who the Most High God is with, right? Which are the groups? There are so many. Sometimes I talk to some people outside and say, but there are so many Israelite groups. True, yes, there's a whole lot of Israelite group. But which one is the Most High with? All right, continue.
Another one can, verse 16. According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not.
17.
Verse 17. And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. Verse 18.
18.
Verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my word in his mouth. And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
All right. So here now what the Moses is explaining. What Moses is explaining is why God chose to use a prophet each time. Because the people were supposed to go up to Horeb and face God themselves. But then they realized, say, boy, this fire and thunder and thing and lightning and thing that is happening up the mountain, knowing that they are, conviction hit them, you are a sinful person, you really want to go and face that. And they say, yeah, well, Moses, I really like where I'm going up the sun, so tell you what. Is anything him tell you, we believe you. So you go on and go talk to him. We stay down here, sir. Right. So this is what Moses is explaining. He said, now, according to all that thou desires of the Lord thy God in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, because God speaking to the people, everybody, is terrible. Neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. So in other words, everybody want to say, oh, God, talk to me too. From the time of Horeb, he gave them the opportunity. But their sinful ways would not allow them to face God. They would die, right? And the Lord said unto Moses, they have well spoken that which they have spoken, because I would have killed them outside the true, right? But anyways, it's my people. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto you, Moses, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And that has been the order from the time of Moses until now. That is why, you know, you don't see lightning and thunder as a man and God just kill off people just like that. Because when he has his prophet that he uses to get the word out. And today those prophets are in the ISUPK.
Right.
All right, verse, that's what,
19.
18?
That was 18.
All right, 18. 18 we said.
19.
Hold on.
And
Right, 19.
another one can, verse 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
All right. So in other words, when the prophet come and speak to you and you don't hear what the prophet tell you, still stands. The Most High is going to require it of you, whatever the prophet says. And we have been telling you, stop eating pork. And you have been telling us, you can't tell me nothing, blah, 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 blah. So the Most High is going to require of you all these things that you hear the prophet speaking on when we go to camp, when we're in classes, we're speaking from the word of the Most High God. Right? We're not speaking our own word. How you know we're not speaking our word? Because here it is. What it says in 18, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them. So that has been the order of which it was said. But, you know, our people just a bit, I don't know if I'll call it tough-headed. And in the time of Elisha, it was no way different. It was the voice of the Most High. Sorry, he was echoing the voice of the Most High God. Whatever the prophet have said. Paul in the New Testament, same thing. All right, take me to 2 Kings 5 and 1.
Another one can. Another one can. This is the book of 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 1. And Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, but he was a leper.
All right, so a mighty man in valor means that he was a good warrior, but he was a leper. And leper is not like what they had shown you in the movies. You know, man, they show you leprosy in the movie like a man have one whole heap of sore upon his skin. But that's not leprosy. Leprosy, what I think is the same thing that they would call in vitiligo nowadays. You know, where the skin just start get white and the hair start to get white. But they find a nice name for it. Right? And you know, people start getting white. That means a white man can't, leprosy wouldn't show on them because they're already white. Verse 2.
Another one can, verse 2. And the Syrians had gone out by companies and had brought away captive out of the land of Israel a little maid, and she waited on Naaman's wife.
Right. So from time the Syrians used to invade us, the most I would send them on us whenever we are disobedient and they want to punish us, and just stop protecting us. They run in, take some of we captive. Verse 3.
Another one can, verse 3. And she said unto her mistress, would God my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he would recover him of his leprosy.
So this little maid who they gave to this man, this Syrian who was a man of valor's wife, to work with her, to be her servant, brought word into their house when he saw the wife's husband, and tell them, say, well, basically say, say God can heal this man. One of them prophet from Israel can heal this man, because obviously she might have recognized that that is leprosy, and that was one thing which, as Israelites, we had conquered, we had learned to conquer. The Most High gave us that. How should I? Well, it was God who was doing it anyway, because if there was no one worthy of being a prophet, boy, we wouldn't be able to heal a leper. There was no medicine really. The only thing we know was that you have to separate. If leprosy start to take over a person, you have to separate him from the congregation for a number of days. Right. Just like COVID, and let it run its course, and then it might come back. But unlike COVID, leprosy not really kill anybody, but people scorn you because obviously it's contagious. So, people don't want to mix with you. Next thing they will catch leprosy. Continue.
Another one can, verse 4. And one went in and told his Lord, saying, thus and thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel. Verse 5. And the king of Syria said, go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed, and took with him 10 talents of silver, and 6,000 pieces of gold, and 10 changes of raiment.
So the king now would like to save this man of valor who was, a good leader within his army. So, I'm saying, and give him riches to go, send out a servant to the king of Israel, sell him with silver and gold and changes of clothes. Yeah, send out this is a diplomat you're sending out, When this is that diplomatic attaché you're sending out to another king. So you can't really send them poor. Even today, you see, what's his name? US President Biden go down Middle East and thing. Went to visit the Saudi, obviously meet the Saudi king, right? And he had met other countries within the region president. So, when they show you the news, they only show you him talking, but if you could see the attaché or the amount of persons he had gone with, there's military personnel, there is clothes, there is money to feed them, there is basically everything that they would want, that they travel with, because they're going into the country as a diplomat. It has been like that from Bible days, from when BC, when they show you BC, like that was an era of a time when man used to have club, a butt out woman in them head and draw them in them cave. That wasn't in the BC period. That was just the other day when the white man was in the Caucasus Mountain. That was the BC period. So, you know, the white man is really the devil the Bible speaks of. He tried to change up times and confuse people. But here you have it in the Bible. This is a diplomatic move. All right, verse 6.
Another one can, verse 6. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, Now, when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy.
All right. Continue.
Another one can, verse 7. And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes and said, Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man does send unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me.
Right. So the king of Israel, this is not the king of Judah, you know. That is not the king. That is not the southern kingdom. It's the northern kingdom now, who had gone and stray from the most high. So when them see this cup down and say, Rockstone, you know, just set this man and try to set me up. It's basically what him saying now. It's this king here now trying to set me up. So when me can't do this now, what am I going to do? Invade me and kill me off and so on and so forth. Verse 8.
Another one can, verse 8. And it was so when Elisha, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel.
All right, continue.
Another one can, verse 9. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. Verse 10.
Right.
And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying,
Hold on. When Elisha heard of what took place in the palace, you know, Elisha sent a message to the king and said, No, don't worry about this one. Just let Naaman come to me. Let the leper come to me. All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 9. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. Verse 10. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean.
All right. So, you know, there's two things you can ascertain from this, you know. The original Syrians, they weren't white skinned. They would have been dark like the Israelites, which is why they are able to have leprosy and, you know, can be, well, leprosy would be more visible on them because they were dark skinned. All right. So Elisha now, he came now and he went to Elisha's door, but Elisha just sent a messenger to him and said, Go wash your dirty self in the Jordan River. All right, let's see his reaction, verse 11.
Another one can, verse 11. But Naaman was wrath, and went away, and said, Behold, I thought he will surely come out to me, and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and strike his hands over the place and recover the leper.
All right. So, all right, read the next verse and then we talk.
Another one can, verse 12. Are not Abana and Pharpar rivers of Damascus better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage.
So, because now the prophet of God didn't, you know, when I watch them Christian healing, when I say them have healing, what do they call it? Deliverance service. When they have deliverance service, pure nice and, you know, bring down heaven and earth, and bring down heaven to earth, and Lord, and the tongues and so on and so forth. So this was what Naaman was expecting.
Right.
He said Naaman was wroth. And him, well, meaning he was vexed. And him said, I think this man would come and call on the name of God and strike his hand over the place and recover the, you know, them kind of, that's what the heathen expect.
Right.
God don't work according to man's expectation. God work according to the opposite of what you think. If Naaman had think himself lowly and think and say, you know, this man not even going to come near me, you know, he might go stay in a place and do something, then maybe it would happen that other way. But right. He's not expecting, because he's an iron mighty and man of valor and so on and so forth. He was now expecting Elisha to come out to him and bring down heaven and earth and take him, you know, in his best clothes and strike him hand and, oh Lord, heal the leper and blah, blah, blah. And the tongues and the so on and so forth. Now, this was why COVID killed so many of them in the church.
Right.
And this was why the church had to be shut down. Yeah, because they thought that they have deliverance power. But they don't. Continue. And hear what him say? With him pompous self. So them two rivers are Abana and Pharpar, which is in Damascus. Now better than the whole of water where they in Israel. Why him never send me down there so to go wash? He must send me go wash in a dirty Jordan. This man had this, he must this the program, you know. Well, you know, that's Jamaican talk. But we're expressing it in a way that the Jamaican could understand. This is what he would have said. So I'm expressing it in our language, right? So Naaman believed that Elisha had this the program. Because me as a big, powerful man sent by the king. Imagine Naaman came into the country as a diplomat. You know? Right. He came from the king. So he came as a diplomat. And this little man of God now, who is called a prophet, you're supposed to come out and bow to me, the diplomat. Right? You're going to stay in a year, become a year yard, and you're going to stay in a year house and tell me to go wash in a dirty Jordan. Who you think you be? You understand? This was his rage. But Elisha, know that means pompous. So I'm staying there, not even face him. And then again, who want to face no leper? It was contagious. But Elijah wouldn't catch it anyway. Continue.
Another one gun. Verse 30. And his servant came near and spake unto him and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee to some great thing, wouldest thou not have done it? How much rather then, when he saith to thee, Wash and be clean?
Right. So this servant understand him and said, yo, daddy, you know what? If the prophet did tell yourself you're going to do something great, you know, because that is how Naaman is. Man who want to do great things. Remember, he's a man of valor, you know, which means a man of valor means 1,000 men come upon him and his company to fight and still can't overthrow him.
Right.
Right? 2,000 men come up against him and still can't overthrow him. That's what they mean by a man of valor. This is a man who is skilled in war, can fight. And in those days, it wasn't be skilled in shooting. It was skilled with the sword. Right? So he was expecting the prophet to tell him some great things and, you know, what, or when all deliverance, so they say, think it and it will happen. And what again? Or give me some of the phrases that they use.
It is done.
It is done. The more God said, you are ill. Get up and walk. Blah, blah. So he was expecting them great things, you know, and I say, can't come with all money, you know. So he probably expect Elisha to say, and you have to give certain amount of money. He was expecting a deliverance service. But that don't work. So. Moreover, he's not even an Israelite. The Most High God is just doing this favor because of the maid that was in his house. That was who the Most High God respect. That little Israelite girl who they took as a slave. So all you heathens around here in this fallen kingdom, believing that is you propping up yourself. The Most High propping you up only because we are here as captives.
Right.
That's all that is saving you. And it's going to be proven in a while when the Most High shall remove his people and let the old host tumble down on all of you. And then you're going to see how important these little maids and servant boys that you have in the kingdom, how important they are to God. Right? Now man only get where him get because of that little maid that was in the house, that little Israelite girl, who they don't even regard. We don't hear nothing more about her, but even don't even know that is the case. All right. Now, continue reading.
Another one can. Verse 14. Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean.
Right. So, you know, because of his servant managed to speak to him. And obviously that servant was one who he respects. And he listened. And I said, all right, fine. What do I have to lose? I'm already a leper. But dip myself in the water and do what the prophet say. So he went and dipped himself 7 times and flesh come back clean. Happier than him you don't have now. But you know, the importance of this being in the scripture. All right, we're gonna see, read on. We're gonna see the importance of it being in the scripture.
Another one can, verse 15. And he returned to the man of God, he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, Behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth, but in Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant.
So this man of valor was an heathen. Who you think he was fighting for before he was healed from leprosy? He was fighting for the gods of the temples of his country. Now him get, and none of them couldn't heal him. Now he is healed from an Israelite who worship the true God. And he was now convinced that all the gods in his country is foolishness. Right? Because him said, now I know that there is no God in all the earth. So the Most High prove himself to these heathen because what? Is them same one keep on taking us captive, you know. When they take you captive, you know, you think they carry you to worship in Jerusalem after they take you captive? No. You go into their temple, go learn about their wood and stone. Right? So all the Most I don't know. Prove himself to the greatest of them. Read on.
Another one can, verse 16. But he said, as the Lord liveth, before whom I stand, I will receive none. And he urged him to take it, but he refused.
All right. So this is the other thing to know. The man of God, what he did is not for sale. What Elisha did for Naaman is priceless. Elisha knows that. So because Elisha knows that, Elisha did not take anything of it. What could you give to a prophet of God to prove to you that the God of the universe, there is none like unto him? You know, God just carry the whole Syria come give. And Naaman don't have that the power. And even that probably still too small. Right? Carry all that you have, all the household, and come bow it at the prophet's feet. Then,
Give me a minute, sir.
Then we would realize that this man, this Eden, has bowed himself to be of service to the house of Israel. Right? But you come now and you want to give him a little reward like you think his hospital he went to. and you pay an hospital fee. Right? You want to give him a reward and call it a blessing. The same thing I call it in the church, you know. Right? Isn't that so? When you donate some money, you're giving, you expect a blessing in return. Yes.
Sir, normally the persons who donate, they are placed within a certain class. They're treated differently, they're referred to differently. Even if it's not that outrightly said, but the manner in which they deal with those persons will send the message across that, hey, this one is on a pedestal.
Right. And in other words, this is what you need to do if you want to be on the pedestal like him. Come with some money. But the Most High's blessings and goodness is priceless. Not for sale. All right, verse 17. And Naaman said, shall there not then, I pray thee, be given to thy servant 2 mules, burden of the earth? For thy servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto the Lord. So this is why Naaman make it as a heathen into the scriptures. That healing, you hear what I'm saying now? Him done with false God worshipping.
Right.
Him no can wear the temple of Israel, you know, in our temple, you know. But him want to give the prophet of the Lord, well, maybe if it was now, he would offer him a Lamborghini. But he offer him 2 mules that will be able to take him to the temple. Not a bad gesture. Because his gift, that gift now would be you giving something in service to the man of God to take him on his journey to the temple. But Elisha is not in need of that. Elisha don't want nothing from them. Right? Because they have been like a plague unto Israel with the whole heap of wars and taking out the people captive. You know, even until now, that same land, Syria, whole lot of Israelites in there. And you can't even know them. They blend in with the Syrians. Obviously going to their temple same way. Right. 18.
Canada 1 gun, verse 18. In this thing the Lord pardoned thy servant, that when my master goeth into the house of Rimmon to worship there, and he leaneth on my hand, and I bow myself in the house of Rimmon. When I bow down myself in the house of Rimmon, the Lord pardoned thy servant in this thing.
Right. So here he was, the God that in worship was Rimmon. That's who Naaman was worshiping. And Naaman battles and all the conquest and thing he was doing, that was in service of Rimmon. So in his mind, you know, Rimmon was a great God because he himself who worshiping Rimmon become great. But then the Most High show him that here Rimmon is foolishness.
Right.
And good for him, he understood that Rimmon is foolishness. And say him not offer no more burnt offering to unto no other gods, but unto the Lord. Well, him say, him realize, him know that when him there, Elisha will not go offer nothing to no sacrifice to other God, but unto the Lord God of Israel. Right. So he realized that there is nobody else but the God of Israel, no other God but the God of Israel. No God like unto him. Verse 19.
Canada 1 gun, verse 19. And he said unto him, go in peace. So he departed from him a little way.
Right. Now, this is how you're really supposed to heal and help the Most High's people. Don't expect a reward. Israelites know that because they really have any in the scriptures who give a reward because they were healed or anything. But heathens want to do that because they have something can give. And not only that they have something can give, this is how their temple operates. This is how their temple operates. They give unto their gods. Yes, it's given to abundance, but them don't have a law to say 10% of your earnings goes to the temple. They don't have that law. We have that. So all we need to do, if we benefit from God in a healing or whatever, we make sure we pay our dues, give our 10%. Right? Continue.
Canada 1 gun, verse 20. But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, behold, my master has spared Naaman the Syrian in not receiving at his hands that which he brought. But as the Lord liveth, I will run after him and take somewhat of him.
Now, Gehazi is what's the word I would call it right now? Him is that man who is around you and you do good for somebody and him feels say, boy, if you take a thing off of the man. I don't really want to say extortion, but it's something like that. But him believe that Elisha let him off too easy.
God.
He was not able to see the bigger picture. Gehazi only saw what the majority of our people seeing today.
Right.
Not the bigger picture. Not what was Israel's problem at the time. Israel's problem was idolatry.
Right.
Gehazi couldn't see that is a big problem the Most High solved by allowing Naaman to realize that there is no God in all of his land, Syria, like unto the God of Israel. So you should leave the people them alone and stop making war with the people. Gehazi couldn't see that. Gehazi said, nah, man, we need to take a thing off of this man. I want to look how much silver and gold and thing man come with. And really, he couldn't see that whatever Naaman brought with him. Remember now, he brought his company, meaning that what? All right. Out here, we have in the army, armies are run by companies, right? Out here, you have 3GR, those are regiments, all right? You have Charlie Company, which is like a supply company. You have Alpha Company, you have this company and that. Each company is within the army have tasks. The company that carries supply, right? All the soldiers that work in that company, they deal with supplies. So this Naaman now brought the company that he was in charge of. Obviously, if being a man of valor, right, he would have brought some soldiers who were men of valor. Oh, sorry, some fighters too. At his company, and they come as his security, yes, but they help him to carry the gold and silver and reward that he would have wanted to give to Elisha.
Yeah.
Because this was a favor that was done by the king of Syria requesting it of the hands of the king of Israel. So this is like America come to Jamaica and we do something for them, something good for them, and they come back and say, why you want me to do for you now? Well, we know what we say already, right off all of the debt. When I say, give us what the word we use again? Debt forgiveness. I say, all right, you are debt forgiveness. Right off all the debt they have to, right? But bigger than that. Idolatry was, yeah. Hold on. Idolatry was the big problem. And Elijah know that they make it's a big step towards removing idolatry from Israel. But here it is now, little Gehazi who can't see the way that he should be going, believing that him should take a thing from the man. You know? Yes, what you say?
Look, yeah, it's kind of like how some Jamaicans are, which, you know what I mean, prove that we are really Israelites in the Bible, you know. For example, if a foreigner come from...
All right. Right. You know, if a foreigner come from foreigner, we take a thing from him. Take a thing off of him.
Good.
Not true. Eh?
So, like, yes, sir. What you say?
You say, if a foreigner come from abroad, and say, yeah, you know, man in a group say, oh, I have to take a thing off of him. Can get to so easy.
Gone. Yeah, man. So it's like, you know what I mean? We have that same mentality as Jamaicans. I remember you tell me a thing about the Disney situation when Disney supposed to come to Jamaica, and the politician at the time, you know what I mean? Disney was planning to make a big investment in Jamaica, making Disney, the Disney theme park, whatever it is. be
Yeah.
situated in Jamaica.
Right.
But
Right
the
in Puerto
politician at the
Rico.
time, him wanted a thing. Like what them can do for him. And it just mash up the whole Disney deal. And now Disney is in Florida and Jamaica miss out a whole lot. Like, yeah, so that
Hey.
kind of the same mentality that our people have. Like,
You see, when holiday and people are got Disney, even Americans going to Disney then Florida,
gone,
airport, them jam pack, you know, man.
gone.
Right? All plane want a taste of the pie, you know. You can imagine if that traffic, just the traffic, you know, was flowing towards Jamaica.
Right.
You have the airport right there, so. And people just, Disney, Kingston would, well, you see, we cannot control the violence that is in Kingston. We make the violence grow bigger than we. And this man now feels him to take a thing off of them. And why if you can't do nothing for me, I mean, I don't know how to feel.
Right.
It's a gears that, you know. And this is the mentality which plague our people today. You know, mentality like Giazi.
Right.
Believing that, you know, not able to look at the greater picture, but only looking at so what you can do for me.
Okay.
Right? When I look at Commanding General YAHANNA and how we grew the school, I'm sure at the time some people would have looked at him and said, well, you know, say in fool. Some man left in your house and come and stay in the school and blah blah blah. Not being able to see the bigger picture. Not being able to see that this man is, this servant of God is laying a foundation for the greater Israel. Not many people see it. But you know when they're going to see it? When the chariots come. Maybe by that time it's too late for some of them. Right? Because many of them going to die before that happens. So their eyes not going to get to open and to see that, you know, laying a foundation for your nation is a bigger picture than yourself. But Gehazi said, nah, man. Me want something for me. Look what you do for him. And look what him carry for him. Look what him carry for come. And you send him back with everything. Nah, man. Look how much I would around here. I want something, man. You understand? Because it's not the road of the road of the prophet is not an easy walk, you know. Many times you have to go without. So Gehazi said, look how much time we are go without, and what happened? Virgin, the man come with things and things where we want to. You know, take it, man. You understand? But Elisha know that, you know, there's a bigger picture for him to look at. Right? It's not pride why Elisha didn't take it. Not pride. Elisha saw the bigger picture, that of what was plaguing Israel, idolatry. And here you have now. You can imagine when this man now is a man of valor, even prior to him getting healed, right? Can you imagine the fanfare when he would have gone to his, when himself him God name, Rimmon, when him go to Rimmon temple, he probably get the front seat up there. You know? And here now, the Most High, because he would have brought, when him raid Israel and other country and bring in slaves, what do you think they do? They bring it into them temple first and give it to them gods, you know. And then they put them wherever they want to put them, right? Bring them before them gods first. And this man now realize that them same people you take away and come put before your idolatrous God. your idolatrous ways, put them in your idolatrous ways, is them of the true God. But Gehazi can't see that. Continue.
Another one can, verse 21. So Gehazi followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him, and said, Is all well?
22.
Another one can, verse 22. And he said, All is well. My master has sent me, saying, Behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garment.
All right. So this is now a man, a collect under the table. 1 talent of silver and 2. And look where I beg, close.
Okay.
And 1 talent of silver, which at the time obviously are good money, right? And then him lie on top of it, both is Elisha sent him.
Right.
Verse 23.
Luck, yeah. Gone. Another one gone. Verse 23. And Naaman said, Be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him, and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags, with 2 changes of garment, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him.
All right. So, you see, this is not money that he could push in his pocket. He have to send person with him to carry these silver. So it was good money. Probably a couple $100,000 in a today's money, right? But Gehazi was still collecting under the table because Naaman had more than that. Had Elisha taken a reward up front, he would have given him a whole lot of things. But now him come on a collect under the table and say, Naaman, my boss send me to you and say if you just give me 1 talent of silver and 2 clothes. So 2 change of clothes. This is just a man collecting something for himself. And these things does anger God when it comes to his work. Yeah, God, no why you do nothing like that and collect nothing for yourself when him put out him work and good works. I said, nah man, put something in my pocket. No, God don't want that. Continue.
Another one can, verse 24. And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand and bestowed them in the house, and he let the men
25.
Elijah said unto him, Whence cometh thou, Gehazi? And he said, Thy servant went no whither.
Servant what?
Slakia. Thy servant went no whither. Thy servant went no whither.
Right. So I'm going to ask him, where you come from? Because Elisha realized what going on. We're not really going away. Continue.
Another one can, verse 26. And he said unto him, Went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money, or to receive garments, and olive yards, and vineyards, and sheep, and oxen, servants?
Right. So what he had received was just money and change of garment. But Elisha make him know that Even if you had get olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servant, this is not the time for that. This which was done is greater than you receiving any of those. But
Right.
Gehazi can't see that, bro. Gehazi can't see that. Gehazi believes that and should I give me some olive yard and vineyard and sheep to yes, and some oxen and men servant and maid servant too. So what we do for him? Because he can't see the bigger picture. 27.
Another one can, verse 27. The leprosy therefore of Naaman and
Right. So the leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave to thee and unto your seed, meaning unto name Gehazi's children and children's children
gone.
forever. Which means they probably even know Gehazi's seed in the earth. Maybe all them dundus you see of Gehazi's children. Gehazi's seed, because all of them come out leprous. Right? So the leprosy of Naaman shall cleave unto you and unto your seed forever. And he went out from the presence of Elisha as white as snow. Even this show you say the Israelite couldn't be no white man.
Right.
You want to go in America, you want to see so Israeli and so Jewish man, white like a snow. The one them who don't suntan, white like a snow. Or would leprosy show on their skin? And they're already white. Couldn't show. So Naaman wasn't a white man. Neither was the children. Neither was Gehazi, who was serving Elisha. Cursing with leprosy. Because what Gehazi did was to undermine the work of God. This is what we this is why the most I keep punishing us, because he chose us so that he can work some great, wonderful works on this earth. But because we are just sometimes petty and licky, we undermine the greater works of the Most High God. Not able to see the bigger picture. And because of that, the Most High just have to punish us. Right? Sometimes you go hungry just because you live in your parents' house or somebody else's house, and it's pork then cook, but you don't have the authority to tell them don't cook pork because you eat whatever they cook. That don't mean that you're going to eat pork.
Right.
Look at the bigger picture. Go to your bed hungry that night. Yeah, your belly are going to make some and the room will say, hey, what's happening up there? But you just got to bear it. Drink some drinks.
Right.
Right? Whatever the pork cook with, whatever food, eat the source of food. Don't eat the meat.
Right. Eat some butter.
You got to look at the bigger. You're right, chiffon. Chiffon on nice flavored butter. Just warm it and rub some chiffon over it. If it's Irish, if they cook Irish, do some mashed potato.
Good.
But the point is, you have to make your sacrifices for the laws of God and for your people. Gehazi couldn't see that. And because of his blindness, it affects even him unborn children who hasn't done anything yet. But this is Elisha making sure that this man don't have no talk in Israel because he is petty. And this is a man who would sell out in people them for a change of clothes and some money.
Right.
Right? He not able to see that. All right. Wonder if we should do the next chapter. All right, give me Deuteronomy 28:1.
Got one gun. Canada one gun. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord will take above of the earth.
Right. So, I mean, this is now what Gehazi didn't understand, you should, this man is supposed to come to you for a talent of silver and a change of clothes, not you going to him for that.
Right.
Why you are going to him is because of the idolatrous ways of your people. And the Most High has done something here to solve that idolatrous ways of your people. Let this man go. And this man heart will see that these people are noble people. But you know what I'm left and say, why I'm glad me I was able to pay for to give them something for the little work they do for me, Anyway, I go back to church tomorrow. Which in way now we could have, you don't take anything from him. And him say, why, so them people are noble. Now go back to the church again, Yeah, man. We don't read, when you Riman, I don't read Riman now, Yeah, man. And them people I'm trying to follow. And go all free little maid where lock up in it, where they have there as slave to his wife. Right?
Right.
But, this is the problem of our people.
Right.
We always, we listen to the other nation talk about thinking positive and so on and so forth. But if we as a people, we have to think, for thinking has to be greater than what the other nations think. Right. We have to think of God has to be in our thought all the time. Most High, how can you now make me be above all these nations, like you said, is my rightful place? Rather than, why, say, some things over there, so I beg him to order something, and, right? But because of, what do you call it now? Slavery. Yeah.
Right.
That is where we are. You have to go to them because that's what the Most High tell us. You go and go to the other nations for your clothes and your food.
Right.
Gehazi didn't have to do it. Right? And today, we in the UPK now telling our people that for you to move out, for you to let these cops stop killing you, for you to get out of this gang violence, for you to get out of these bad things that are happening to you, you have to come back to the Most High God's laws.
Right.
When you say that, you know, heathens, the nations, them vex, them are the first to start telling the people them about the laws are done away with. Jesus, it was nailed on the cross with Jesus. Is the other nation say that, you know?
Right.
Because they know the day you come back to, the day the majority of Israel come back to the Most High's God law, it's the end of their reign. You think they don't know? Yeah, man, their soul know that. You were saying something?
Lucky, sir. Just to add to your point that you made, that, you know what I mean, this one man just come, you know what I mean, where Naaman would have went away and say, boy, you know what I mean, them man are different. This one man just come drop the standard. You understand? This one man
Thank you, that's
call him
right.
licky.
That's the right
You
word.
understand? Just make
No
him
understand
call,
that.
oh, right. Oh, well, another whole of them have integrity, man. Some of them, you know what I mean, shaky. So, you know what I mean? So Naaman now for bother serve the Most High no more. Or him can go to the house of Riman and do what him do, because, you know what I mean, the prophets are the Most High, him think now have no integrity. Look here.
Right, and him done appease them. Because
right.
Gehazi say 1 talent of silver, and him say, nah man, take 2 man. You understand?
Right.
So he even gave him more than what he was asking for.
Right.
So Naaman come in the scriptures even with more nobility than Gehazi, you know, because Gehazi left his story as a as a leper. Not only him as a leper, but his unborn children.
Right.
Right? And Naaman as a heathen leave the story with a little more integrity, because Naaman said, now I know that there is no God in this earth but the God of Israel.
Right.
He came to that realization. While Gehazi was raised in that which him just come to understand, but Gehazi couldn't see it. But there are many Gehazis in Israel, amongst the Israelites today.
Right.
Which is why Christ said, don't come to condemn our world, because if you can imagine if Christ did come to condemn the world, we wouldn't leave. No, wouldn't leave back.
Ah.
Because if he came not to condemn the world and there is so much death amongst our people, can you imagine if he had came to condemn our world, the world of the Israelites? Can you imagine what would have happened to us? You think you would have Christians not being, don't give a damn as to what happened to us? It would be worse than that.
Right.
Worse than anything. Yeah. Go on.
Not to put you off or anything, sir. So no, Gehazi, Naaman leave now thinking him don't owe the Most High debt anymore, because him pay the prophet. You know what I mean? See him like
pay him more than him asked for.
Right. So him feel like, boy, him pay for the service. You know what I mean? So him not owe nothing. And Gehazi now him get the curse that this Eden got initially. You know what I mean? Which, you know what I mean? Our people today, we suffer from the coronavirus and monkeypox, which really meant for the Edens. But because we love the Edens and we
Right,
listen and want to join to the Edens, now we catch monkeypox and coronavirus when the Most High intention was to curse the Edens. You understand?
Exactly.
And make them revere him. But we love the Edens now, so we suffer the curse. With the Edens, them should have get slapped.
All the curse where they eat, all them disease and things where we are getting. You know, they call them lifestyle disease.
Right.
Right? So all these now is the Eden should be getting them for true. Coronavirus, who eating the bats. So that
the Eden.
The disease from the bat get transferred to human. It's the Eden. And then once it comes to human, it can spread to anybody.
Right.
Monkeypox. Well, the most I really drop him on one day because it's still puzzling. It's puzzling the health professionals, medical professionals, as to why this disease only affecting homos, and it's not it's not really a sexually transmitted disease, you know.
Yeah.
If the person have it and come sneeze in your presence, you can catch it, you know. Yeah, because the spit, the droplets, the virus. If you spit, the droplets from it catch you, and you breathe it in or whatever, you can catch it. But for some reason, he allowed it. So that is showing that, you know, the Most High really is at work in these last days.
Right.
Because it's only him could be guiding it that way. That's why it's puzzling the thing there. Right? And this thing when they talk about flu run and all, it's also puzzling the healthcare professional. How can somebody catch a flu and catch corona at the same time? You remember in the UPK, I think Masha, we were talking about flu run. You know, most are gonna mix up the sickness and thing. Next thing you hear, let's talk talking about flu run and thing. Yeah. So and there it is. They get the first case either this week or last week. You heard of it? I think it was you who talked about it, eh?
Flu run last year. It wasn't me. It's luck, yeah.
It wasn't you.
Just I learned about it now.
You didn't learn about it. Well, I'm find the first case must be last week or so. So you know what is coming for this fall into winter.
Right.
Because flu have a tendency to go on the rise during the cold time there. And the corona is right there behind it. And it's still mutating. Right? It's just that mankind now realize that, boy, even though corona deadly, boy, we have to move on with our life. So if people are going to dead, just so. Right? If you, just like we had said from the beginning, you know, we say if you were living in the jungle, I mean, the lions, the tigers, everything out there want to kill you, but you have to go out there and go eat, isn't it?
Right.
And that is where we're at now. All right. So what time now? About 9:30. Oh, we had Deuteronomy 28 verse 2.
Canal one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. So if you listen to God's voice, listen to the prophets of the ISUPK, and you start doing what we telling you, man, your blessings follow you. You can. All right. Even when you sit down and say, all right, blessings more than me right now. I don't want none today. It is right at the door. That's what it is saying, you know. What it said, shall overtake you, meaning regardless of what you do, you're blessed.
Right.
But no, we do the reverse. Just like how we're experiencing now, regardless of what you do, you curse. That's the reverse. So, you know, it's just we walking backwards, just like the scripture said. that we have gone backwards. All right. Any other thing you have to add?
We just did have one question. When Elisha say, "Went not my heart with thee when the man when the man came off the horse," what that mean? Look here.
Verse 1.
In verse. Look here. Let me find it quick and fast.
Second Kings 5.
5.
Oh, when Elisha was talking. Oh, 26.
When him say, "Went not my heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee." So when him say, "Went not my heart with thee," so him basically I say him see. Him see when the man stop and come off of him chariot. Me I wonder.
I'll come to you. So yeah, because what his servant said to him when he asked him, "Where I come from?" What him say?
Yeah, he was saying, "No,
way." Right, yeah. Right, and he said, "Really? You don't know, say me, I was staying right here and seeing you."
And that be
basically what he was telling.
Exactly.
And you gonna take money and things. So remember what Elisha don't see, you know? Elisha didn't see what he did because Gehazi wait until Naaman leave the presence of Elisha. And then he slip away and go after Naaman. But this show you again how stupid he was, because he was around Elisha. He know the power that the Most High bestow on Elisha. He was the one. Wasn't he there when Elisha raised the widow's son from the dead? Wasn't it Gehazi that was there? Yeah, man, it was him. He was there. Even if he wasn't up front, he was amongst him, right? Because you don't just come into the school and you can be the prophet stop man like that.
Right.
You have to grow from the bottom. You become a trooper, a young man, a trooper, you come up the line. Right? Just like how we do it in the UPK. So Gehazi was no stranger to what Elisha can do. He was damn stupid.
Right.
So this was Elisha make him know, say, here, I wasn't following you, but I know what you do.
Right.
Is this really a time for you for that, brethren? Or you're so damn low down and donkey and you don't like your people, you know? Right. You know, he really let him have it. But I mean, the scripture just put it in one little verse. But it was really a big thing he did. He made a big mistake.
Right.
But I mean, we have it now we have it under the list of, listen, we as Israelites, you see the list of what to do is about this much. You see the list of what not to do from experience where we learn, Tika. Gone off the chart. Because we made all the mistakes. Is there any mistake for us to make? Yeah. We have made all possible mistakes because we are trying to find a way to get around. Hey, is it the day you start supervise your people? Is it the day you're going to understand what our people really is like? Right. We are a people who like to get around. Right? And this is why in the UPK run the way it's run. You can't get around the prophets. Right. Gehazi was trying to get around Elisha, you know. But he can't get around Elisha. And that one thing which make him can't get around Elisha is what the Lord bestows on a prophet. The ability for you to see, to read into things.
God.
Right?
Slakia, sir.
The ability
to called seers. Slakia.
Thank you. Right. Used to be called seer. But today we don't use the word seer, we just say prophet.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you trying to go before General Myman or any one of the generals with a lie.
Right.
And they would just look into what you said and stare you straight in the eye. And your own soul just convict you. But your training from a trooper coming up just let you know that, boy, it's best if you just talk the truth and ask for, me sorry,
Right.
So lucky, sir. I shouldn't have done that, but now I know. You understand? So we don't really have to try get around any person of a higher authority now again. But here it was because Gehazi made the mistake. So we really learn from them. That's why I tell you, we have made all the mistakes is there to make. Right? So Elisha make him know, say, I see you. The spirit see you. That's why I say, went not my heart. That's the spirit.
God.
All right, that's it.
Cancer.
All right. So with that, we pass the class to priest and officer Kayadwan.
All right, clap it up. All right, these are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, that is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. And this is the first day of the 7th month, and that is on Sunday, 25th of September. Reminding Slakia, you can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminding Akiam and Aquatium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we say I Madium, which means to stand. Star, which means to turn. Wapanya Aquadam, which means and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashamaya,
Shabashamaya,
Wadash,
Kwadash,
Ayah,
Aya,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwatka,
Malakwatka,
Taba'a,
Taba'a,
Ratazaka,
Atazaka,
Ayah,
Aya,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Maharataza,
Maharatasa,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Ayah,
Aya,
Mashamayam,
Mashamaya,
Natanlanawa,
Nathan Lanao,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kal,
Kan,
Yawam,
Lawam,
Wasalaklanawa,
Asalak Lanao,
Kawabwat Nawa,
Kawawat Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kawabwat Yanawa,
Kawawat Yanawa,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Tabaya Anawa,
Tabaya Nawa,
Banasayawan,
Banasayawa,
Abal,
Abal,
Awashainawa,
Awashainawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwat,
Amalakwa,
Wa'ala,
Wahala,
Watapara,
Wahatapara,
La'aiwalamyam,
La'aiwalamyan.
Aman.
Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts.
Give us this day our daily bread. Debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory.
Forever, so be it. Amen.
Forever, so be it. Amen.
Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets.
To the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school.
And shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites.
send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites
and the nations
and the nations
and their drug dealers,
and their drug dealers,
the court system,
the court system,
the prison system,
the prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
the Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Pasikomatazi,
Pasikamatazi,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
the lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
NASA space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marine,
Marines,
Wall Street.
Wall Street,
Open up the internet and the airways,
open up the internet and the airways,
the cable access channel and the radio channels,
the cable access channel and the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction to all the Eden.
And bring swift destruction to all the Eden.
That stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
That stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume them.
And consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahawashi, Michael, and Gabriel.
Let Yahawashi, Michael, and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucer and punish all the Edens.
Come down with the flying saucer and punish all the Edens
that come up against us as we speak thy word.
That come up against us as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahawashi.
In the name of Yahawashi.
Thank you always, so be it.
Thank you always, so be it. All right. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham Yahawashi.
Basham Yahawashi.
Baba Kwasha.
Baba Kwasha.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Akak.
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 Larapa'a,
Larapa'a,
Kalmakala,
Kalmakala,
Wakalmadawa,
Wakalmadawa,
Aka,
Akak,
Lata'a,
Lata'a,
Amatazorayam,
Amatazaraya,
Aka,
Akak,
La Aquayam,
Lahakwayam,
Amathiam,
Amathiam,
Aka,
Akak,
Alrakawat,
Arakawat,
Atamala,
Atamala,
Lagarashan,
Lagarashan,
Bashamya Awashai,
Shamya Washai,
Tawada Aman.
Tawada Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirit to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai.
The power against unclean spirits to cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the blessings to bless Israel. In the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham Yahweh Shai.
Basham Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wa'a.
Waha.
Bayat Sapariam.
Bayat Sapariam.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Magan.
Magan.
Hagan.
Hagan.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Generals.
Generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
The young men and the sisters.
The young men and the sisters.
Basham Yahweh Shai.
Basham Yahweh Shai.
Tawada Aman.
Tawada Aman. What we just said in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be.
Sorry, which means a turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I'm Mariam Shabbat. I'm Mariam. Barak. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Sham Yahweh Shai Barakatam.
Yadamata. Sorry, which means a turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel. I'm Mariam Shabbat. I'm Mariam. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahweh Shai.
Yadamata. Class dismissed.
All right, to our online viewers, remember, like, subscribe, share our videos, pay your tithes. Good having you online again. Good having you in class again. I know many of you soon be here in person. All right.
Right.
Until we meet again. So you're a good soldier. Good warrior.
Gone, sir.
All right. So if anything, we'll be in touch.
Gone. Yeah, man.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Good, got y'all. Y'all was talking about good with you. Hey, man, you know, I've been bumping that motherfucker one way till they bury me, man. I just want to let you know. Listen to these other niggas, man. These niggas ain't fucking with you, bro. The motherfucking bars you spitting, that real shit you dropping, that's what niggas need the motherfucking hip hop right now. All these niggas talking about this motherfucking popping mine and getting wet. These niggas loving thoughts, man. Fuck all that bullshit, man. You a real motherfucking nigga. Keep dropping that real shit, and niggas gonna get on with that shit. Niggas need to get their boots laced up. Niggas need to get their motherfucking fringes, grow that beard out. Niggas need that soldier shit. You bringing that motherfucking shit, man. Keep laying that shit down. You understand? Because right now, we need real niggas, and you the last real nigga left. My nigga, Captain War. One west till they bury me. Y'all already know what it is. And the rest of you bitch ass niggas out there, fuck.
Smoke. 7:30, 1 West. They don't want no problems.
They don't want no smoke. What I tell them? Fuck them. Pull up to their show. What you tell them? Fuck them. Hit them with the foe. What we tell them? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke. What I tell them? Fuck them. Pull up to their show. What you tell them? Fuck them. Hit them with the foe. What we tell them? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. You know my motto is fuck them, that's all I gotta say. Scope on the rifle that'll spot you from a mile away. Still getting women drunk off Hennessy and Alizé. Still with them niggas loading hollow tips inside the cake. Still be on that same shit, but I kinda change with. Multiplying bitches might not see me with the same bitch, but you might see me riding 95 North in the black Mitsubishi 195 horse. Power with no sour, couple bottles there, of course. R.I.P. to all my fallen riders in the morgue. Yeah, you know I got the juice, know I got the sauce. And then Superfly, pull a fatty in the Porsche. I don't need a molly just to pop her out of drawers. Shorty getting naked cause she know that I'm the bore. Ready for that drama, man, I'm ready for the war. If he talking reckless, he don't really love his jaw. Fuck him to the DA, fuck him to the law. Fuck them cause they got my brother stuck behind them bars. Fuck them to the PD, fuck them to the force. Fuck them to the haters, just wet at the end of course. They don't want no smoke. What I tell them? Fuck them. Pull up to their show. What you tell them? Fuck them. Hit them with the foe. What we tell them? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke. What I tell them? Fuck them. Pull up to their show.